So sometime last week, I was talking to my homie Prodigy XCD. He was telling me about these character files. There isn't an actual official translation for this series as of yet, but however, we have various Twitter users and the people behind KH13.com who've actually been going in and examining each character's story and their individual character files and actually going in and translating them for us. And I think that's really cool because, you know, sometimes Japan gets a ton of exclusive content and stuff that just never make it over here. I want to go through each one of these stories, but I'll probably do them in separate videos because I am interested in genuinely reading, you know, the inside thoughts of some of these characters. Because, you know, when we have a protagonist of a game, there's a lot of times when you don't actually get to see what that person is thinking about. That's why I really enjoyed Chain of Memories and Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop Distance, mainly just because when we got to play as those alternative characters, we actually get to hear a lot of their thought processes on how they perceive things around them and how they plan to go about things. And I really like that kind of thing because it goes beyond just what our protagonist feels. It's kind of like how when you're watching a movie of a book, say the Harry Potter movies, just as an example, a lot of people do prefer the books over the movies, mainly just because a lot of times you can get more of what a person is thinking about than what they can put into a movie, mainly because they just try to show the visual of and have what they're really thinking on screen. But a lot of times it's really hard to vividly show what a person is thinking, or because sometimes it's even completely taken out just because you gotta fit like an 800-page book into 2 hours. So a lot has to get cut out. So that's the kind of thing what I'm talking about here. A lot of this stuff would have been, it couldn't have found time to be in the series as a whole. I'm sure some of this stuff is stuff we probably already know, but there's a ton of these things right here that I actually just am really excited to talk about. And I really had a hard time choosing who I wanted to do first. It's funny because as I'm recording this, I generally make my thumbnails and stuff first. I actually don't have the thumbnail done for this one because I actually changed last second. Everybody knows who my favorite character is. Everybody knows Riku's my favorite character. I think I'll do him second just because I'm kind of interested in seeing Roxas' story right now. As you guys can clearly tell by the thumbnail that you just clicked on, we're going to be checking out Roxas' story. It's called I Remember You. And just based off the title alone, I can tell it's got to be something along the lines of him remembering Xion. So I'm not too sure because it seemed like it kind of just clicked for everybody in KH3 when they realized, oh, Xion. So I'm kind of excited to see, you know, what this brings or how this goes about. So let's go ahead and read Roxas' story, I Remember You. There are only 7 days left before my summer vacation ends. For this vacation, how about the three of us go to the beach? I remember saying that. The three of us? Who was that? I forgot everything. When I stood in front of Sora, it came back to my mind. I thought I recalled everything, but the truth is, something important was missing. At that time, there was a lot of things I didn't know about. Axel even explained to me what a summer vacation was. It was my first time hearing about it since I joined the organization. There are vacations in the organization too. I thought it was weird. Since it was so sudden, I didn't know what to do. So I went to the clock tower to eat ice cream. Axel was there too. The two of us saw Hainer and the others playing, though I didn't know their names at that time. The kids from the city are on summer vacation. No, it's still early. Summer vacation? What's that? A dream come true. That's what, a whole month off. This is what Axel told me from a memory of his time as a human, but I didn't have any of those. I felt odd and uneasy. Most kids spend summer vacation just goofing off with their friends. I hadn't really thought about it much since becoming a nobody. I wonder if Axel had friends when he was a human. I only had Axel as a friend. That's what I thought. But then I remembered. I wanted to run away from the organization. Your mind's made up? Even Axel's question made me stop. I couldn't trust him either, after all. Why did the Keyblade choose me? I have to know. You can't turn on the organization. You get on their bad side and they'll destroy you. I finally stopped in my tracks when Axel started shouting. No one would miss me. After stating that, I walked away. Though I didn't have any destination in mind, I didn't know where would be best, so my steps led me to the usual clock tower. When I arrived there, a girl whom I've forgotten was here. Xion. Roxas, this is Sora. The girl under the hood wasn't Xion. Her face changed to someone's I didn't recognize, and it was the boy I've wanted to meet. You're next, Roxas. Don't you see? This is why I was created. Once she shed her coat, Xion became a puppet. I didn't want to fight with Xion, but she charged at me. Please, Roxas, destroy me. While I was fighting, I lost sense of everything. Who was I fighting? Little by little, I forgot important things. Then I realized that in front of me, there was a black-haired girl I didn't recognize who collapsed. Who are you? Again, it seems like I'm forgetting something really important. The girl's eyes were slowly closing. You'll be better off now, Roxas. I held the girl's body in my arms. Am I the one who did this to you? No, it was my choice to go away now. Better that than to do nothing and let Xemnas have his way. She placed her hand on mine. Goodbye, Roxas. See you again. Her lips were pulled in a small smile. I'm glad I got to meet you. Oh, and of course, Axel too. You're both my best friends. Never forget, that's the truth. At that moment, it dawned on me. It was Xion. No, Xion, who else will I have ice cream with? But Xion was disappearing. Xion. I was left with a single, pathless seashell. After that, to bring Xion back, I fought with Riku, but I lost all my memories and I was put into Twilight Town. Then I was standing in front of Sora and thought I recalled everything, but it wasn't the case. Now I remember everything. I remember you, Xion. Man, that story had me in my freaking feelings, bro. That story had me in my feelings. I think what makes it so powerful is because of how much of a tragedy Roxas's life was as a whole. Because let's take a second to, I know we finished the story here, but we got to reflect on these kind of things, especially for Roxas. Roxas is a very tragic character in Kingdom Hearts. Remember, he was just kind of born, and especially since Sora had no idea what a freaking nobody was back then, and yet Roxas was created in order to save Kairi in Kingdom Hearts 1. But the thing about it though is what made Roxas different from other nobodies was because most people just become a nobody, while in Roxas's situation, Roxas was born as a nobody, yet Sora didn't transform into one as he regained his form thanks to Kairi. So we have a rare situation to where both a nobody and the somebody are existing at the same time, while if you look at pretty much any other nobody, that's not possible. Axel right here, this is his original body too. So, if he were to not be a nobody anymore, he would still look the exact same as we saw, of course, in KH3 and we saw in Dream Drop Distance. So that's what makes Roxas a very special nobody in the first place. And of course, there were many things that had to be sacrificed in order for him to keep going. He had to, they gave Naminé such a hard time just to bring Sora back because of what she did in Chain of Memories, because some of his memories of Kairi leaked into Xion and made her into a person. Roxas was over here storing half of what Sora is. So in order to actually make Sora come back, Roxas would pretty much have to sacrifice everything he loved and everything he is. As we saw in KH2, he finally did so Sora could awaken. Of course, Sora had no idea at the time, but when the time came, we were able to get Roxas back, which I really loved. I really loved that we were able to get Roxas back, because every time we turned around, Roxas had to suffer because of things. His best friend wasn't giving him the whole truth. We know Axel was just trying to protect Roxas, just because some things are better left unknown. You know, of course, we have Axel over here fighting his somebody, but not saying anything about it. You know, he's over here hurting his friend Xion when he doesn't understand why his two friends are fighting. And then at the same time, he's realized he has to not only give up one of his best friends so she can return to Sora, but he also realizes he has to destroy himself, essentially, in order for Sora to awaken, a guy he doesn't even know. How would you feel if you found out you were only half of what someone was, and someone is telling you that because this person you're half of is so important, you have to pretty much die because they need him? How would that feel? You've got your own memories, your own body, your own day-to-day mission, your own job, your own friends, a whole life that you have to give up because some guy you don't even know needs it more than you, because he's more important than you. And that's the tragedy of Roxas. And I think what really felt good, I mean, of course we know he lost his memories too. Axel was the only one who really didn't lose his memory besides of Xion, like, you know, but that doesn't count because everybody lost memories of Xion. But Roxas, I feel like, has it a bit worse because he had to really experience it. I know, you know, being the one who remembers is a really hard job too, but being the one who has to be at the forefront of pain all the time must really suck. I'm glad Roxas got some resolution by the end of KH3, and now he can spend more time with Xion and spend more time with Lee as they're all back together again. And that was Roxas' story. I really enjoyed that. I truly did enjoy that. That was something really nice. It's not something necessary whatsoever at all. Honestly, you could honestly just keep going and never read this kind of thing, but it's cool to really see, you know, his back and forth between he thought he remembered everything to realize he was forgetting and still didn't remember one of the most important things and most important people to him. And it was really cool to go back and forth with that kind of thing. I know a lot of it took place during the organization days, or at least it's like KH3 Roxas is reminiscing about the 358 days over 2 days. So it's like, that was really cool too. It was really nice. We haven't really gotten to see Roxas reflect back on that, because by the time he remembered in KH2, his time was up. So, and then we only saw him briefly in Days, and we only got to see him really briefly in Recoded, which wasn't even the real Roxas. So it's just like, man, we never really got to see Roxas have closure and really reflect on everything that's happened to him in his life. So I thought that was really cool to see. I hope you guys did too and enjoyed, you know, just a little read together. Again, this is going to be a series until all of them are out and everything. Not too sure which one I'm gonna do next. I might do Riku next, just because, you know, it's Riku. However, I might do Replica Riku and Riku in one video. It would depend on how long their stories are. That's mainly just because I know some may be shorter than others. I know Replica Riku, if I'd have to guess, would probably end up being shorter than regular Rikus, just because, you know, Riku was physically there for 99% of this series when Replica Riku wasn't. I might go ahead and do Replica Riku on his own and then do a Riku one. So I might just start stacking these videos up because I'm not busy at this current moment. But that means more videos for you guys, and I hope you guys did enjoy this. I'm happy to talk about Kingdom Hearts again, as it's been a little minute. Again, I apologize for all that waiting around for a new Kingdom Hearts video. I know I'm working the whole 40 hours thing, and I'm trying to get as many videos done as I possibly can over both channels. So I really appreciate you guys who are going over there on Jordan the Analyst, you know, helping me achieve my dream over there, and while over here, you know, getting to talk about, you know, my second favorite series. You know, I love Kingdom Hearts, you know, I love talking about it. It's nice to talk about. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, why not leave a like on this video, you know, and the like, you know, show the people who are translating this and everything that they're doing a good job. They're doing a fine job. I'll even link this story down here. And of course, when you actually see this story there, you'll also see the other cover translations that they did. They've done Xion, Psyx, etc., etc., etc. That way you guys can be able to read them on your own and everything too. That way you can have another look forward to see what I'm going to be reading for you too. If you want to see more of these and you don't really have a good way of seeing the stories yourself, why not subscribe? You know, we're on our way to 8,000. I'd really like to hit 8,000 by the time March ends. So if we can hit 8,000 before March ends, that would be really awesome. Let's see if you can do it. So if you guys could share out the videos and come back and watch them, hit the like button so they can be shared out to more people, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is KingdomAce, and remember, my loyal knights, to always fly skyward.